Okay, great. So we're live. Let's start off this video. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This video here is just a market outlook for the week to come. It's the weekend right now, so I thought what a great time to just update everybody else on the market, because I was just going through doing my update myself. And I'm pretty sure, I think for the rest of this month at least, I'll go through and make these videos so everyone can see the update, everyone can get the update and get a general perspective for where the market is going for the week to come, and how I personally am perceiving it as well. So I'm actually just gonna go through and cover the major pairs only. I've done this before. If you guys checked out the Pip Breakdown videos, I believe it goes from like 1 to about 25 or so. So there's those where I go through basically the same thing. I show different styles of how I go about trading. And so this one is just like that. So we're basically only going to get 5 days. The way I'm going through and doing my analysis, so I'm only going to show the major charts, the major pairs, so the US dollar pairs, because it can keep everything concise and very like, it doesn't overflow the length of this video, and I will be sharing this in the Telegram as well, so it doesn't overflood the Telegram as well. I will be opening up a channel, I believe sometime by market open, where basically I'll be sending out the same trades that I'm taking for all these pairs. I'll be sending out a signal for all these pairs that I'm taking trades on, ACAD, all these majors and minors. But for now, this video here and the Telegram is just focusing on the majors. Okay, so let's just go through and jump into it. So first chart here is actually Australian US dollar, and we're coming off an uptrend here. The way that I see the uptrend is from the weekly time frame. We can see the candles have been nothing but bullish here. So this is just keeping my bullish perspective on the market, and that compared with the trend of the market. So I don't have, so going with the trend of the whole market and going down to the lower time frame to basically get a better risk to reward, get a finer tuned entry on our position for this case. So basically, I find that I can actually speed up my analysis way faster because of the lines that I have previously from last week. We came in around here, we picked up an entry, took it 1 to 3 for this pair. I shared that in the Telegram channel, which people will have access to later on in the week. So basically, I can just move these. I know this support here is probably still going to be relevant because I'm only keeping 3 support and resistance areas, and you'll see them as we go on through the other charts. So I'm moving this one down below because it's not really that relevant where price is currently, and the market structure is up. So I'm expecting the trend to continue and everything like that. I'm just going to move this support and resistance area right here because I see some structure here. Let me see if I use the box, or this is a better tool to use. There is some structure right here. So I see that this is being respected, so I'm going to just place my support and resistance area there. This one here looks like I will keep, but I must extend them over into the future, basically, and over to the right, look to the left, trade to the right. So basically updating just like this, and I'll make this a bit thicker. And I believe these were the only 3 zones that I'll leave on the price on the chart for this week. And we're just looking for a bullish rejection on these before I would even be interested to take a trade. So I believe I might be hopping into a trade as this candle actually as the market opens, but we must see how the actual candle opens. Will it open with a really large gap? Will it not? Will it pick up where it continues? So that type of thing I take into consideration before I actually go and place my entry. But that's just for this case because the market actually closed. On other occasions, I'd be just taking a buy right there because we're actually getting a bullish rejection of the support, which is a signal to buy. So pretty much that's how these go. Looking to buy there, looking to buy there, and looking to buy there. For this one. So this one has the Australian strong and the US dollar weak. Let's go down to the next pair, Euro USD. And as we go through all these pairs, you're going to get a good perception for the overall currency strength. In this case, we only be able to see the US dollar because that's the predominant, that's the consistent currency along all these majors that we're looking at. So Euro USD, I actually already have analyzed. Like I said, I already analyzed all the rest. It's just the majors I didn't do because I want to share that with you guys. So this one here, I'm just going to explain a little. Let me grab the line tool. So I'm just having 3 areas of support and resistance. There's kind of a psychological reason why I have 3 resistances in this case. But the weekly time frame, let's just take a look at the weekly real quick. So the weekly time frame is forming multiple rejections at this area. Price cannot close above, showing me that there is some sort of resistance in this area. And on top of everything, last week's candle close was bearish. So I'm going with the bearish approach on this, at least to take a short-term trade. Okay, so back to the 4-hour, we basically just want a retest of one of these resistance areas, form a bearish candle rejection, show us that sellers want to come back in at these areas of interest, these areas of what else can we say? Areas of conflict, because we know these are areas of conflict because price didn't keep a steady flow upwards or didn't keep a steady flow downwards. It actually went up and actually reversed. So for some reason, for whatever reason anybody wants to say, price couldn't progress any further from that point. So ultimately, we're looking for that bearish move in. And this is quite consistent along the other euro pairs as well. This one will probably be a big runner just because the Australian is strong and the euro is weak. But yeah, that was a big runner for last week as well. But you'll just get a sense for the correlation and all those things that apply. So let's just jump on to the next pair, the pound US dollar. And okay, so let's just delete this from the last one. Let's go up to the weekly time frame, have a look at what the trend is saying. So the trend is definitely going on a bullish approach here. Let me make this cleaner, make this way cleaner. The trend is definitely going on a bullish endeavor here. It's making higher highs and things just like that. But one thing I do want to stay consistent with what I'm doing for this actual plan, this trading that I'm doing, is following suit with the previous candle. So in this case, this candle was a bearish candle. So I will be going counter trend just to trade with the direction of the weekly candle. So from the 4-hour time frame, same thing goes. I'm only looking for bearish opportunities for this week. And then I would just take these support and resistance zones that I have previously set and just rearrange them ultimately. It helps it make it faster rather than having to delete and redraw them all the time. So there's one. Here we have another, and I think in this case here I will just be applying the two resistances and not a third one, just because, like I mentioned in previous other videos and things just like that, I want a good distance between my support and resistance areas so I can get a good risk to reward on my trades. If the support and resistance are too close together, they ultimately don't produce good risk to reward trades. It's like, for instance here, if I wanted to trade between these two resistances here, you just wouldn't get a good risk to reward if you're going stop loss on the other side of one zone and take profit at the start of the next. Okay, so that's just how we're looking for this. Even if we get proven wrong, we're only taking about, there's risk management to all these things, but you're only risking a small percent of your account, and you keep your stop loss in places and things just like that. We do have losing times and everything just like that, but you must stay consistent with the plan, which is the essence of a lot, basically the essence of a lot of successful trading. And so that's what we're looking for this week on the pound US dollar. Let's go down really quickly to NZD USD. This one wasn't analyzed at all. Let's pop to the weekly chart. We're forming bullish movements, so we're gonna go with a bullish sentiment for this week. Just drawing some period separators here. Let's do one for last week as well, and pop down to the 4-hour time frame, and basically just drawing my support and resistance. Where do I see those areas of conflict, those areas of there's not a consistent flow. There's a definite high here and a definite low in this area. So that's what I'm just going through drawing. I want 3 of them, the 3 most predominant and relevant ones. So we have this, and I will acknowledge this. Okay, so we're at price 72.30. If we can get a rejection of any of these zones, then I will definitely be taking a trade. So yeah, if we can just form a rejection of any of these. So we have 3 more charts to touch on. Let's just jump through them really quickly. And US dollar Canadian, let's see what the weekly is saying. I believe the weekly is still bearish on this one, but the other pairs, the other US X pairs are currently bullish, if my memory serves me right. So here we have another zone, which I'm just going to replace. We can see the market structure is down, everything like that. So that's the trend we're going with for the week. I will acknowledge this resistance that we have here. Let me click on this. There we go. So basically just marking off the wick of that area there. We do have some other areas in here. Let me make sure to get them. Place one there, and the other one we got to move out to the far right. We can do that like that. And is there another area that really speaks out to me? I believe I want to move this. I want to delete this first. And I would like to place this one right here. Oops. All with going in trend with the downtrend that's currently happening. So these are my areas of resistance. These are the places that I look for sellers to come back into the market, for there to be a shift in candle direction, a shift in momentum to go to continue the trend. Next is US Swiss, which we can see. Let me just drop some period separators on this. Okay, pop back down. We did get a bullish candle, if we can see. One really quick way of seeing it is just to know the start of the week and the end of the week. So we had quite an indecision candle this week, but it was still closed on the bullish side. So that's something that we're acknowledging for this coming week, for this week that we're ultimately heading into. So here we have another support zone which I want to put in. Now one thing to note is that this support here that has already been drawn from the weekly time frame is not relevant in the 4-hour analysis. It's mainly just to be seen on the weekly time frame and considered on the weekly time frame that we are above the support area ultimately. yeah, and what we normally do is just reject the support. So let me see if we have any other areas. We got this one, and we got the supreme low. Okay, so if we can just get a rejection of any of these areas, we did get one a few, like 2 candles ago, but that's not in this week. So that's not in the week coming. So it's currently not valid to just take a trade like that. So let's go down to the next one. What is the final pair US Japanese yen saying? The weekly time frame, I believe it is bullish. Yeah. We're rejecting these low areas. Price is not liking that. But the overall structure is down. And the structure that I'm talking about, price doesn't like to be below, is obviously this price here, this price level. And then we do have these supreme lows that happened on March 9th, which I believe was the day the coronavirus came about. So back to the 4-hour time frame, going with the trend, the weekly trend, uptrend. What I'm going to do is remove, maybe we might be able to keep this line in. But one thing for sure is this one here. I will be moving this. I'll probably just keep this as a really thick zone like this. Now, even though I would say this is kind of a thick zone, I'm just comparing it to the rest, and the in that sense, in the sense of pips, the zone's only about 20 pips wide, and I'm okay with that. Nonetheless, my minimum stop loss is still going to be 30 pips. So my stop loss is still going to be bigger than that zone ultimately. So it's not a big deal. It's not like an 85 pip zone or a 60 pip zone or anything like that. But nonetheless, I do want to say that no matter how many pips you do lose on a trade, it still has to be a consistent amount of percentage of the account, if that's how you're doing your risk management. So you should only be losing 2% on every loss, no matter how many pips you actually lose. So here, let's just take this one, move this across. I may just tighten this. And this one here, trying to figure out what looks like the best zone. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just remove this one here and place one. No, that's fine actually. I'll keep these 3 zones in as the most relevant. What I was going to do was remove this zone and put one at the supreme low. But ultimately, we know one goes at the supreme low as well, in case there is a double bottom forming, which happens ever so often. So that's what we're really looking for on these pairs. Let's have a general look at these pairs real quick. Here we have US Japanese yen, bullish, US Swiss pairing bullish. We got the US Canadian is also pairing bearish in this case, so that's 3 positive and 1 negative. Here we have a negative for the US. One second, so we have a negative for the US. GU is a positive, NU is a negative, and we have 2 UCADs, UCAD, U Swiss, and UJ. UJ is bullish, U Swiss is bullish, and UCAD is bearish. So this one we're going with the US dollar is currently stronger. And this one here, the general consensus